In most of America, $110,000 won't buy a parking space. Yet entire homes in Pennsylvania list for less. The official story sounds simple: dirt cheap living and incredible deals. But when the state's median price hovers near $270,000, what is hiding behind these bargain listings? Is it opportunity or a warning buried in brick and mortar? The truth begins where the price tag ends. Smoke once poured from the stacks of steel mills and the yawning mouths of coal mines. In Pennsylvania's heyday, towns grew in the shadow of industry, their streets laid out for a workforce that seemed endless. Rows of brick duplexes and wood frame homes rose quickly, built to shelter families drawn by the promise of steady pay and union wages. By the early 20th century, places like Johnstown, Aliquippa, and Oil City had become dense clusters of worker housing, each block a testament to the rhythm of the factory whistle. Steel, coal, and rail shaped the landscape. Entire communities sprang up around a single employer, and the demand for housing outpaced the ability to build it. Developers carved neighborhoods into the hillsides, squeezing in as many homes as possible within walking distance of the mills. The result was a patchwork of sturdy, modest houses, most with 2 or 3 bedrooms, a porch out front, and a postage stamp yard. These were not luxury addresses. They were built for function, not for show, with thick plaster walls, steep staircases, and cellars dug by hand. Between 1900 and 1950, Pennsylvania's population surged by nearly 4 million, and the housing stock ballooned to match. Census records from the 1920s and the 1940s show entire boroughs where more than half the homes were less than a decade old. In McKeesport, more than 7,000 new dwellings filled the city in just 20 years. In Scranton, the number of occupied homes doubled by 1930. These houses, now 70 to 120 years old, still line the streets, silent witnesses to a time when the future seemed carved in iron and coal. But the speed of construction came with a hidden cost. Corners were cut to meet demand, and maintenance often lagged behind the relentless pace of daily life. Generations passed through these homes, patching roofs and repairing boilers, but the bones remained the same. Today, the sheer volume of aging houses is a direct legacy of that boom, a surplus built for a workforce that has long since vanished. Each empty porch and faded for sale sign is a reminder. These homes were not meant to be rare. They were built for a world that expected to last forever. A first-time buyer stands in the doorway of a Pennsylvania house priced at $89,000, clutching an inspection report that reads more like a wish list than a checklist. On paper, the deal looks unbeatable, less than half the state's median home value of $269,276. But the sticker price is only the beginning. Inside, every room tells a story of decades-old wiring, sagging floors, and pipes that predate World War II. The furnace rattles in the basement, and the roof shows water stains from seasons past. For homes built a century ago, deferred maintenance is not a quirk. It is a guarantee. Renovation costs in these towns routinely run from $50,000 to $150,000, with contractors warning that even the best estimates can balloon by 40 to 50% once demolition begins. A kitchen overhaul might swallow $20,000, while rewiring old knob and tube electrical systems adds another $15,000 to $40,000. Mold, asbestos, and lead paint are common discoveries, each demanding thousands more in abatement. Foundation repairs, especially in regions prone to mine subsidence, can drain $20,000 to $50,000 before a single wall is painted. Financing these projects introduces another layer of difficulty. Traditional lenders hesitate when appraisals come in 20 to 30% below the cost of repairs. FHA 203K loans cap the amount based on post-renovation value. But in towns where demand is weak, that value often falls short. In practice, 60 to 80% of buyers in this price bracket pay cash, either because loans are denied outright or because insurance companies refuse to cover homes in floodplains, brownfields, or subsidence zones. Permit approvals stretch from 4 to 12 weeks, adding to holding costs and uncertainty. The economic logic that made these homes affordable in the first place now works against the new owner. Appraisal gaps force buyers to bring extra cash to closing, and the true all-in cost can easily top $200,000, well above the original asking price. For many, the math simply does not work. The low entry point is a mirage, masking a gauntlet of repairs, regulatory hurdles, and financing barriers. What looks cheap on a listing site can become a financial puzzle, solvable only by those with deep pockets, construction know-how, or the willingness to gamble on the unknown. A housing economist scans the listings for Johnstown and Oil City and sees a warning, not a windfall. To him, homes selling for $85,000 or less are a red flag, a sign that local demand has dried up. He points to the numbers: population outflows, job growth stuck below 1%, and a market where buyers are more likely to be cash investors than families putting down roots. The economist describes it as a chain of dominoes jammed at the end. When homeowners cannot move up and new buyers stay away, the whole system stalls. Cheap prices, he says, are not a gift. They are a symptom of an economy that has lost its engine. But across the state, an investor sees something different. She has run the rental math in Scranton, where a renovated duplex can fetch $1,200 a month for each unit. With mortgage rates holding at 6.3%, the entry cost is low enough to make the risk feel manageable, especially if the property can be rented out or flipped. In her view, Pennsylvania's weak demand towns offer a chance to buy in at the bottom, with the potential for strong rental yields or long-term appreciation if remote work and migration trends continue. For her, this is an opportunity. Both sides agree on one point: price alone does not tell the whole story. For every buyer betting on a comeback, there is another warning of hidden costs and slow-moving markets. The debate is not just about what these homes cost, it is about what they are really worth and whether the risk matches the reward. Scranton's row houses, once filled with miners and mill workers, now stand at a crossroads. Some blocks have seen a flicker of hope. Property values in Scranton are projected to climb by about 10% this year, the strongest growth in Pennsylvania. Renovators and remote workers are staking their claims, betting that cheap homes and a fresh coat of paint can turn the tide. In these pockets, the promise of appreciation feels real, powered by new arrivals and a surge in demand for affordable housing. But not every town is on the upswing. In places left behind by industry, the worst-case scenario is already visible. Shrinking populations hollow out main streets, and every vacant house chips away at the tax base. Schools lose funding, services decline, and the cycle of abandonment deepens. Here, a $70,000 house can sit for months or even years with no takers, no matter how low the price drops. Between these extremes lies the middle path. Some towns settle into a kind of stability where prices stay low and so does the cost of living. For retirees, remote workers, and those with steady income from elsewhere, these places offer a shot at homeownership that is out of reach in most of America. The Pennsylvania Housing Affordability and Rehabilitation Enhancement Fund, called the Ferry Fund, has become a quiet force in this landscape, channeling $73 million last year to preserve and create affordable housing across 67 counties. The Fair Fund's programs help keep roofs over 13,900 at-risk households, offering a lifeline where the market alone has failed. The future of dirt-cheap living in Pennsylvania hangs between these three outcomes: revitalization, decline, or a steady state. Each path shapes not just the price of a house, but the fate of entire communities. Today, Pennsylvania's bargain homes reveal the true divide between affordability and opportunity. As remote work reshapes where people settle, these empty streets pose an open question: who will invest and who will walk away? In the end, price is only the beginning of the story. Share your thoughts below.